So hello guys, welcome to episode 86 of our F1 Manager Save. Now if you didn't watch Shoes' episode, go back and watch it. And I tell you what, if you didn't go and watch it, just watch the highlight that I've uploaded, or just go back and watch the last 5 minutes, because that final lap, honestly, I've just caught my breath from it. 53 laps around Monza, and it ended all on the last lap. Lando Norris won in front of the Tifosi, our home race. What a moment it was. Mick Schumacher coming home in P6, which was a decent result for Mick after a little mistake he had in the middle of his second stint. So, all that means, standings-wise, we are now just 11 points behind Red Bull going into this weekend. And drivers' standings-wise, Lando Norris has a commanding 80-point lead over the closest Red Bull driver, which is Charles Leclerc. Now, this weekend, we go to Singapore. Now, the Marina Bay circuit. This has always got the capabilities of throwing up a random result. There's always a chance of a safety car. Charles Leclerc holds the lap record here. We are expecting low speed and medium speed cornering, very important on the attributes. Now, one little note, we have got a brand new front wing that is going to be put on the car in time for Saturday's qualifying. We're not going to have it for practice, but we are going to have it on the car for qualifying. The expected strategy is a one-stop from soft onto medium or soft onto hard, but safety cars can play a huge role in this Grand Prix. Max Verstappen won here last year. I wonder if he can do the same here this year. I'm going to get through practice and then we'll see you in qualifying for the Singapore Grand Prix.
Today has already seen the culmination of practice, so we move on now to the all-important qualifying session. There's very little time to relax because each and every driver will need to bring their A-game to the track for qualifying. They'll need to push themselves to the limit if they're to be challenging for a strong grid position. You simply never know what you'll see come qualifying. Strap yourselves in. This is Formula One.
So this is it then, final laps in Q3. You'll notice we've only got one car in Q3 because Mick Schumacher was knocked out in Q2. Wasn't completely all his fault. There was a crash on his final flying lap. Didn't mean they had to slow down and didn't quite make it in to Q3. Lando Norris crosses the line. It is in P2. Max Verstappen has been incredibly quick here all weekend. You'll notice also that the car that crashed was Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc he got through to Q3 but hasn't been able to put a time in, so he'll be starting in P10. Max Verstappen also has a grid penalty for this weekend once again, which means Charles Leclerc, although finishing in P2, will be starting in P1. Max Verstappen has looked imperiously quick all weekend. Mick Schumacher, a little bit of work to do. The front wing upgrade has certainly made a little bit of difference, but Mick Schumacher's going to have to definitely use it as we come on to Sunday. Let's have a look at the strategy. Right then guys, we're going to try some different strategies out here, and I'm just going to see how it works. So, Lando Norris, he's going to be on a one-stop. He's going to be starting on the mediums. We're not going to use a soft compound tyre. We're going to use the mediums. I think it'll give us a bit more flexibility. We know the car's quick anyway, so that seems to work for me. I like the look of that. Now, the interesting one is Mick Schumacher. Apparently, the two-stop is 23 seconds quicker than the soft to hard. So I'm going to believe in our strategists. I need Mick to have a good race here, and gaining 23 seconds could be absolutely massive for him. He's going to be on the two-stop. He's going to be starting on the softs, onto the mediums, then onto the hard compound tyre. Will it work? I have no idea at all, but just let me know down in the comments. Do you think this is going to work before the race starts? It might just do, you know. Let's get to 5 red lights. First and 11th for the two Ferrari guys. Let's see how we do.
We're just moments away from the Singapore Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go.
And away we go, and we've got to say it's a very bold strategy from us, because if we have a look down the guys on the left hand side, the tyres options, we are the only guys in the top 14 starting on the medium compounder tyre. Have we pulled an absolute Ferrari masterstroke here? I have no idea. Mick Schumacher has already lost a position off the line. He's fighting with the Lotus Renault of Esteban Ocon, and then he's got Charles Leclerc in front of him. Charles Leclerc, who, remember, crashed out in Q2 in qualifying. So, as we set off, It's a very interesting, bold strategy from us. I'm excited to see how this plays out. It's Norris who leads us away. Danny Ricciardo's in P2, Gasly P3, Max Verstappen, despite his grid penalty, up in P4, Perez P5, Russell P6, K-Mag in P7, then comes Sainz, Joe, Leclerc in P10, and Mick Schumacher in P11. Lap 1, I'm just excited for the strategy. Right, Mick Schumacher, he's bombing along lovely. He's just got the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. He looks very much like he's in the mood so far today. Danny Ricciardo on the soft compound tyre has got past Lando Norris. I'm not overly concerned about that. Lando's got DRS. We'll just use Danny Ricciardo's tyres and then burn past him when we need to. Lando Norris will manage that, I'm absolutely sure. And he's actually back into P1 as quick as that. I think Lando Norris has got this in the bag, barring any mistakes today. The man I am interested in is Mick Schumacher. Can this strategy really gain us 23 seconds? It's going to be very important, and if we have a look at the pre-race report, the time considerations, 27 seconds is the pit stop time here at the Marina Bay circuit. So we've got that to take into account as well. Get him out into clean air. Who knows? Lap 4. Lap 10, you join us back. Lando Norris is in the lead of the Grand Prix in P1. Danny Ricciardo is giving him a hell of a fight, it must be said, on those soft compound tyres. Gasly in P3 doing very well. We like to see Pierre Gasly doing well. He's holding up Max Verstappen. We had some great battles with Max Verstappen as Aston Martin team principal here at this circuit. Sergio Perez is in P5, Magnussen P6, then comes Russell, Joe, Sainz, Leclerc, and Mick Schumacher, who is just looking to beat Leclerc today. If Schumacher can beat Leclerc, I will be more than happy. And I think with this strategy, that is a serious possibility. Today, if we just have a look at the strategy, we're expecting Mick in around lap 19, so he's going a little bit longer than some of these guys on the soft compound tyres, but I reckon this could work for Mick Schumacher. Lap 10. Here we go then, guys. The first soft runners are in on lap 15. Gasly, Magnussen and Charles Leclerc is in as well. Mick Schumacher just been told at this moment just to harvest a little bit of ERS, because when we go onto those medium compounded tyres, we want to be attacking. He did manage to get past Charles Leclerc as well, so Mick Schumacher doing a stonking job at this moment. Stonking job as well. Lando Norris, I'm assuming Danny Ricciardo is going to be pitting in the next couple of laps, and then we will just keep lapping and lapping and lapping on these medium compounded tyres. Max Verstappen can't catch up at the moment. Lap 15 looking pretty good for Ferrari, as we're currently just charging the pack with Mick Schumacher. And on lap 17 you can see everybody at the pit lane. It's a very, very busy pit lane indeed. Mick Schumacher carries on for another couple of laps. He's then going to be coming onto the medium compounded tyre. Mick Schumacher's actually got some nice clean air in front of him now. He's going to be told to be aggressive on the tyres and get cracking. He's going to be told to deploy ERS, put a couple of qualifying laps in and try and get ahead of these guys. This is absolutely paramount for Mick Schumacher's race when he goes onto these medium compounded tyre. Daniel Ricciardo overtaking Lando Norris. DRS is powerful around this circuit, and we are seeing that so far here this afternoon, or evening even, in Singapore. Managing to get past with DRS. Fair play to Danny Ricciardo. We are expecting him in very, very shortly. But Lando Norris is absolutely in a decent position here. He's got 9 seconds to his teammate, and he's got a long way to go before he pits onto the hard. He will have the much fresher hards at the end of this Grand Prix. Lap 17. Lap 19, and we are boxing Mick Schumacher. I'm hoping to get him out in front of Sergio Perez. That's the plan. I'm not sure if it's quite going to work. He's had a couple of stonking laps, Mick Schumacher. He's used the ERS. It's a good stop as well. 2.2 seconds. Let's have a look. The person I'm watching is Perez. He's not going to get out in front of these guys. Is he going to get out in front of Magnussen? Quite possibly. Gasly. Let's have a little look. Mick Schumacher comes out, and he's behind Magnussen, and he's got George Russell for company as well. If he gets out in front of George Russell, that's not been a bad pit stop at all. And Mick Schumacher now on the medium compounded tyre, but he's got to catch up to K-Mag pretty quickly. Lap 19, Lando Norris looking comfortable and extending the lead at the front of the Grand Prix. We've got a red flag. Red flag. It's happened very, very quickly. Charles Leclerc,
and there's the crash,
smashing into the boards. I'm assuming that was Charles Leclerc, and we have got a red flag. It was Charles. Oh, it wasn't. It was Max Verstappen. We've got 20 minutes until we go back to green flag running. We were pitting that lap with Norris anyway. but this possibly makes sense now for Mick Schumacher to go on to a fresh set of hard compound tyres. We'll have a look at it and come back when we go back to green flag running. Here we go then. Once again, we are going back to green flag running. A lot of cars have gone for the soft compounded tyre. We've gone for the hard with Lando Norris. So let's see how this plays out. Have we got this strategy call very, very wrong? They're all going to have to pit again. We're not going to have to. So it's going to be a very interesting strategy. I'm intrigued why they've all gone for soft compound tyres. They reckon a soft then medium to the end is the quicker, whereas we've just gone for the hards. Let's see how this plays out. It's Norris from Albon, then comes Vettel, Ricciardo, Stroll, Perez. What is a good thing now is Leclerc's down in 13th, Verstappen is out, Mick Schumacher and Lando Norris are both in at the top 10. I wonder if Lando Norris could pull away on the hard compounded tyre. It's going to be very interesting to see now, and both of our cars have got fuel to burn. Lap 25. And to be fair, guys, I've just got to show you this. Alexander Albon in the Audi is leading the Grand Prix. He's just overtaken Lando Norris. We're sitting quite comfortably here. I'm not too concerned about this. If everybody pits, we can pit again. We can go to a fresh set of soft compound tyres. There's no problems with that at all. Mick Schumacher's got the options of both as well. He's just latching onto the back of Tsunoda. Gasly's the little bottleneck at this moment in time. But Mick Schumacher doing okay at the moment. What a strange Grand Prix this has turned out to be. That red flag has really put the cat amongst the pigeons. But if we have a look on board with Lando Norris, he's still got the pace on these hards to keep up with Alexander Albon. And as we know, these soft compound tyres do tend to wear out. You've probably got about 15 laps on these, and then you're going to have a 27-second pit stop. So I'm pretty comfortable with our two guys at the moment where we are, just latching onto things and keeping things going. That's the idea on lap 28. Oh dear, oh dear, Mick Schumacher. It's another race, it's another issue, and Mick Schumacher, he was in prime position, and he's just got a bit heavy, he's just got a bit excited on the throttle. He's spun it, and he's all the way at the back now. Not ideal at all. I did say if he could just beat a Red Bull today, I'd be happy. They've all got to pit again, but Mick Schumacher, very disappointing indeed. Very, very disappointing. At lap 31, Schumacher. Oh dear. Well, guys, you're showing us back on lap 46. We're just going to have a little look at Danny Ricciardo going wide into turn 1. Not a highlight, really, of such to speak of. Lando Norris has been conserving tyres for the last sort of 10-15 laps, looking pretty comfortable indeed. We've got plenty of fuel to use when we need to use it. Mick Schumacher's just starting to catch back up a little bit now as the tyres of these soft runners are starting to go off. Mick's going to have to push very, very hard when these guys start coming in. So that's the idea for Mick, and maybe hold the fuel up. But at this moment in time, if you have a look from gap to leader to Schumacher, it's still only 24 seconds. If everybody was to pit now, Mick Schumacher would still come out in second place and have a job on his hand defending. Who knows? We could still be on for a 1-2 here if Mick Schumacher gets a shift on, which we might start telling him to do now. We're going to start telling him to push on the fuel a little bit as well, Mick Schumacher. But Lando Norris just saving the tyres beautifully, and just making sure that when everybody does pit, we've got the pace in hand. Lap 46. We have got a safety car. Safety car is out, and we have got both of our cars coming in this lap. DRS is disabled. It made sense for Lando Norris to come in. Now, are these guys, I'm assuming are going to come in. It's Yuki Tsunoda who's crashed. We'll have a little look at this. We're going to have 12 racing laps. Let's have a look at what happens here. If these guys all pit, it's just a blatant smash into the wall. Now, are these guys going to pit? I reckon they should, and we are seeing everybody filtering in, and Lando Norris is in as well. Let's have a look how this plays out. We're going on to a fresh set with Lando Norris of soft compound tyres. Is everyone going to pit? I believe they are. And so is Mick Schumacher. Let's hope we don't get held. We don't get held too badly at all with Lando Norris. He's back out, and let's see where he comes out. Lando Norris going past a couple here. I think he's going to be out in first position here. Is Lando Norris out in first? Right, let's have a little look here of where Mick Schumacher comes out. He's filtering down the pit lane up to P17. He's jumped the Mercedes. No, he hasn't, because he's got the pit stop to make. So let's have a look now. I think he's going to come out in last place, is Mick Schumacher. We're just looking at everyone now. Norris is on fresh tyres. Lance Stroll is in 3rd position, and he's on fresh, soft, compound tyres. Lance Stroll in for a podium. Mick Schumacher has actually gained a few positions there and come out in P14. So Mick Schumacher, bit of work for him to do here. Just conserve the tyres, as of Lando Norris, and when we get going again, we're going to try and bolt with Lando Norris. That's the plan. We are going to bolt with Lando Norris. And Mick Schumacher is going to be told to go aggressive and absolutely go for it. It's going to be a thrilling end once again. Lando Norris in prime position. Is everybody rooting for Lance Stroll a little bit here? I think I am. We'll come back when we're back to green flag running. Right then, guys, here we go. Lando Norris will lead us away as we go back to green flag running. It's all on Lando Norris as he comes around the final corner onto the start-finish straight. Lando Norris, off we go. We are back to green flag running. He's got the better tyres than Danny Ricciardo, and the idea is for Lando Norris to absolutely bolt here. Break the DRS of Danny Ricciardo and let them squabble it out. Mick Schumacher, on the other hand, has been told to push, overtake, do everything you possibly can because you've got some making up to do, sunshine. But as we restart on lap 52, this race really has had everything. It's Norris from Ricciardo, Stroll in the Nissan in P3, Gasly P4, Albon P5, Sebastian Vettel P6, then comes Sergio Perez, George Russell, Joe Leclerc, Bottas, Mick Schumacher making up places. Lap 52. Lap 53, Lando Norris has currently broke the DRS, 1.8 seconds. He's now going to be told to cruise to the finish. No mistakes for Lando. Meanwhile, Mick Schumacher, he's been told nothing of the sort. He's been told, get on with it, sunshine. He's now looking to attack Valtteri Bottas, who goes defensive to the right-hand side, using all the ERS he possibly can. Is he going to make a dive into this left-hander? He might stick his nose in. He doesn't manage to make the overtake, and he's got to start making overtakes. He cannot keep doing this. We need Mick Schumacher to really pull his finger out. We've got 6 races left. I know there's been discussions about him leaving the team. I don't want to make him leave the team, but we can't keep having these sort of performances. On lap 53, it's very disappointing. It's still very disappointing, but it's a little less disappointing. Mick Schumacher gets past Valtteri Bottas. The next car up the road is Charles Leclerc, who's in a points-paying position. I need Mick Schumacher to catch Charles Leclerc firstly, and then overtake him. Lando Norris complaining the tyres are getting a little warm. He's going to be told to just save the tyres. You have no need to be panicking, Lando. Slow down. We've got the time. Let's just nurse this to the end. In fact, we're even going to go on conserve. We're that comfortable. Mick Schumacher's been told nothing of the sort. He's got to catch Charles Leclerc, and he's got to do it quickly. We're going to tell him to deploy, catch Charles Leclerc, and go from there. Lap 54. Do you know, I wish all drivers were as easy to manage as Lando Norris. We conserved the tyres because they were getting a little bit warm. We told him just to conserve them. We dropped back into the DRS range of Danny Rick, and then we just said, right, just push a little bit. And again, we were back up to 2 seconds. It's lovely managing Lando Norris. Mick Schumacher is the one I'm keeping my eye on. We're going to have a full rundown now because we're coming towards the penultimate laps of this Grand Prix. It's Norris with the fastest lap, running in P1. Then comes Danny Ricciardo in P2, Alexander Albon in P3. Lance Stroll has lost a position to Albon in the Nissan in P4. Gasly P5. Then comes Seb Vettel in the Maserati Haas in P6. It's nice to see these liveries. We don't get to see these all the time. Checo Perez in P7, Zhou P8, Russell P9, Leclerc P10. Mick Schumacher P11. He's got to get this position. Lap 58. Lap 60, we've got a yellow in sector 1, and it's Danny Ricciardo, who was fighting for a podium position, has skidded out. Skidded out? Is that even a phrase? At turn 1. That's held up a few cars, one of which being Mick Schumacher, but now he's got the chance. He's all over the back of Charles Leclerc. We will be riding on board on the final lap, I'm sure, of him trying to overtake. At this moment, he's just saving his battery a little bit, just saving his fuel, and then if he can steal a point off Charles Leclerc, I won't be massively happy, but I'll be happier than I was. Lap 60. So here we go then, last lap of the Grand Prix. Lando Norris has got this in the bag. He's currently in P1, and Lance Stroll in the Nissan is in P2. We're going to watch this battle as well. Mick Schumacher now has got to try got to try and overtake Charles Leclerc on this last lap. He's been told to give it absolutely everything. Let's have a look down this DRS straight here as Mick Schumacher looks like he gets the better exit on Charles Leclerc, and he absolutely does. He's got Charles Leclerc into the next left-hander, cuts him off beautifully, and you can see Charles Leclerc in the background. Fantastic work from Mick Schumacher. Could he gain more positions? Let's have a little look as we ride on board with him still on this final lap. He's looking to the left of George Russell. George Russell defends very well, but now Mick Schumacher's coming again. He's using all the ERS that he's got left. Will he make a dive into this corner? He certainly will. Mick Schumacher is now up into P9. I mean, could he get P8? This could be the lap of laps for Mick Schumacher. It's a slow left-hander. He's got Checo Perez in the McLaren. That is a rather quick McLaren, it must be said. He's losing a bit of little bit of battery now. We're going to change it onto neutral. He's having to do a little bit of defending as well from George Russell behind as we flick back to TV view, but Mick Schumacher's gained 2 positions on this last lap. Meanwhile, Lance Stroll is defending for his life against Alexander Albon. Lando Norris has won the Grand Prix. Lance Stroll is going to come across the line for P2. What a performance from him. Mick Schumacher, I think that is job done, but Lance Stroll picks up P2. We're going to watch the highlights of Lando coming across the line, because Lando Norris, it's been another superb performance from him. Crosses the line for another win, no one near him. Strategy perfect. Vettel comes home in P5, but Mick Schumacher, he didn't have the greatest of races. He made a big mistake, but what he did was take points off Red Bull. That may give him a stay of execution. That has been a mental race. Let's get to the podium scenes.
Lando Norris can be proud. What a fantastic performance from him. This podium is a remarkable achievement for the whole team. And after such a fabulous drive here today, it's no surprise to see this man land on the podium.
Well, I've got to say, guys, that podium of Lance Stroll, Alexander Albon and Lando Norris is probably one of my favourite podiums in the time we've been doing this series. Lance Stroll and Albon gaining 17 and 13 places respectively. What a drive from those two. Pierre Gasly in P4, and lovely to see the Aston Martin doing well again. Seb Vettel in P5, Ricciardo 6th, Zhou Guanyu in 7th in the Lotus Renault, Perez in P8, Schumacher P9, George Russell down in P10. Driver standings wise, it's getting nice looking at this. It's now 107 points. Lando Norris is in front of Charles Leclerc. Neither of the Red Bulls scored any points today, which means we're back on top in the Constructors. We are 18 points in front in the Constructors. We top both titles moving into the last few races. Could we do the double? Who knows? Hope you enjoyed that one. Again, frantic, exciting race. We've had a good couple of races this week. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you later. Ta-ra!